welcome to my channel, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Tonight we are going to be having breakfast dinner, so I was thinking, why not do cinnamon rolls for dessert? So I've actually been wanting to make cinnamon rolls for a while, but the recipe that I want to use, I want to try the Pioneer Woman's recipe, and it's like, every time I want to go make it, it's like I just don't have the time for this because it looks kind of overwhelming. Like, it's a big recipe, and it just really surprises me. Like, it says it will yield like 40 to 50 servings. That seems crazy to me. But what I'm going to do, and what I've been wanting to do, is make this crazy big recipe so then I could take many of those and freeze them. So another reason why I really want to do my own homemade cinnamon rolls, because like I was like, why don't you just go to the store and just buy a whole bunch of tubes of them, right? Well, my goals, and this is why I'm kind of doing this channel and stuff too, my goals is to not feel like dependent on the grocery store in a sense, and not only that, but like when you make your own, then you can, you know, avoid all of like the preservatives and added ingredients and things I can't pronounce on the back and the ingredients and just weird things. Or you can tweak your recipe just a little bit, you know, you don't have to have it just like the stores. If I wanted to add chocolate chips in mine, I could. I don't think I would though, but or if I wanted to add raisins in it, I could. So just, I feel like homemade is just better anyways. Another reason too is because when we were grocery shopping, we only grocery shop every 2 weeks, and this time around we had to buy bulk coffee, and we buy like big bags of coffee beans. That took up most of our budget. So I just knew that these next 2 weeks I was gonna have to be creative and make a lot of things from scratch. So that being said, that is why I'm not buying the tubes of them. So anyways, let's just go ahead and get right into it. Step one is, for the dough, heat the milk, vegetable oil, and sugar in a medium saucepan over medium heat to just below a boil. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I already measured out my milk. It calls for 1 quart, so 1 quart, here we go. I actually had to mix up my own because I ran out of milk, so I had to use powdered milk, which is, I guess, okay. It's okay for baking. So I had to mix up my own. Hopefully that turns out okay. And then that's all. That is all. So we're gonna go ahead and get that warmed up. Okay, so I already have my saucepan here ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix everything up. In here, I have 1 quart, oh shoot, my husband's calling me. 1 quart of milk going in. Okay, so I got 1 quart of milk in here. Maybe can you guys see it okay? Oops. There we go. And then 1 cup of sugar. Oh my gosh, this seems like a lot. I hope that was 1 cup. And then 1 cup of oil. So I'm actually using olive oil because I don't have vegetable oil. Last time I thought of buying it and I was like, I don't need it. That was a mistake. I should have gotten it because now I had to use expensive olive oil. That sucks. And I hope it turns out okay. I don't know. This is all an experiment. It's the first time making this recipe. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on, and I'm actually gonna stir this together a little bit to kind of incorporate it. Alrighty. This is my first time making this. Okay. So while that is doing what it's doing, we can go ahead and get the KitchenAid mixer out and go on step 2, I guess. Okay. That did not go as planned. Do not do what I just did. Okay, I had this stuff boiling, and I swear I should have known, because I learned my lesson when I did cowboy candy. I boiled over the syrup on that one, and I forgot, you know, this has sugar in it, has oil in it. I should have known better. Sorry. I love you. So I had it boil, not boiling. It said bring it to just before a boil, right? And so I'm checking it and not doing nothing. checking it. It's not doing nothing. So I walk away to take a couple notes, like write some things down in my notebook. And then I hear a kind of noise, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? I ran over, and it boiled over. I got it cleaned up right away though, thank goodness. Yeah, there's the rags. I try to use like these microfiber cloths. Oh, these are awesome. I used it like a ShamWow. This one I have set aside so when this cools down I can actually wipe it down with like some cleaner and use this like a wet rag to wipe it down. But now, whoops, I don't know. Come here, baby. I'm trying not to like get her close to anything hot here. This is actually not that bad anymore. But this, I don't know how much liquid I've lost. I think I lost quite a bit. So what I'm going to just do is I'm just gonna go ahead and continue with the recipe as if that never happened. That's probably like a really bad idea. Because I can't judge how much I've actually lost, and I don't know like, okay, how much oil, how much milk, how much sugar did I lose. So when I go to put it all together, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of judge it and maybe add a little bit more milk if it looks like it needs it or something. I may just do that. My husband should be home soon with some milk, so I could just kind of use that and just kind of add it to it. So I'm going to go ahead and move on with this recipe. So I just sprinkled about 2.5 teaspoons worth of yeast on the top here, and it's supposed to just sit for like a minute. And so then while that's sitting, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next step, which I think is the flour. I have here 8 cups of flour. It's a lot of flour. That's what it calls for. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it in here. And then yes, bud.
No.
Did he eat it?
Yeah.
Did you give it to him? Don't worry, we'll give you extra sausages, okay? We got sausages coming. So I think what I'm gonna do is, to get like a rough idea, I'm going to go ahead and pour, after I empty this, I'm gonna go ahead and pour this into here and measure. Yes? Anyway, so I'm gonna pour this into here to kind of get an idea of how much liquid is missing, and then I'll just kind of pour a little bit more milk to accommodate for that. Set that there. You okay? Choking on our drool? Huh? Oh, okay. Getting drool all right. Alright, go ahead and maybe I can slowly pour it in there. Okay. Don't want too much dust flying at us. Alrighty, now maybe I should go set you down, or should I wear you? You want me to wear you? I'm gonna go put the baby on. I'm gonna go wear her. Get the thing. Okay. It's been longer than a minute for this, but it's okay, I guess. Alrighty, so let's see about how much we're missing here. We gotta do some math there. So it would have been about 1 cup of oil and 4 cups, right? No, hang on. If we did a quart, I have it written down. Okay, 1 quart's 4 cups. So let's see, we should have about 5 cups of liquid. Maybe almost 6 because of the sugar, but the sugar should have melted. So it would maybe be around 6 cups of like liquid here. And I'm only at like 4. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in like another cup of milk while it's still pretty warm. Maybe I'll do like a cup and a half. Let's do this. Oh boy, I'm making a mess. Okay, so maybe about there, because I don't want to do too much and then not be good, right? So, you want to skip the ad? got in there for now. Oh, honey. Oh, hey, beautiful girl. Okay, so it says mix to incorporate. I'm just not having it. Are you tired again? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is because I'm gonna tempt this, I'm gonna have to go take care of my baby child here. Hang on, honey, I'm gonna let the machine do it, okay? Alright. Hang on, hang on, hang on. I'm gonna go ahead and mix it here. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and let this mix up on its own so it's incorporated. Ah, there we go. Now she's calm. So I just literally walked off camera for a minute and she just calmed right down. She could just be, I don't know, maybe tired, hungry. She might be a little hungry. I'm not sure. She did take a really long nap, so I don't think she's tired, but I never know. And she did just eat before I started this, but again, I don't know. So that looks pretty good to me.
Maybe she needs a diaper change.
Oh, you know what? Sarah said maybe she needs a diaper change. You know, that's a good observation, Sarah. She just might. Is that it? Yes, you just might need a diaper change. Okay. So I'm going to try to pull this dough off of here real quick. Ooh, it's sticky. And then I think from here it says just to cover with a clean kitchen towel and set aside in a relatively warm place for 1 hour. After 1 hour, remove the towel and add the rest of the stuff. So we'll get to that. So, right now we're just gonna focus on getting this in here. And I think relatively warm place for us would be the oven. So I'm gonna just put the oven on keep warm and stick it in there and call it good. Because this time of year our house is a little bit chillier. We don't really have a warm spot in the house. Oh my, this is so sticky. Look at this. I might just have to wash my fingers bitches. You're trying to jump out of here. What are you doing? You want to move? Is that it?
Probably she doesn't like Mom.
Okay.
Mom.
So I got my clean towel. I'm just going to cover this and I'm going to set it in the oven now.
Mom.
Yeah, baby. Okay, now for a little game I like to play, Will It KitchenAid? We don't know. We will find out. What are you telling me? I used to get around what?
Being scared of it.
Oh. Oh, yeah, so this is the part where I decided to do a voiceover because it is the next morning and I didn't want to wake up my children, so I decided I would just do a voiceover later on, and that's where we're at. So this recipe is actually pretty neat. I'm sorry, I gotta go let my dog out. So this recipe is actually pretty neat. After the dough has risen, you can actually stick this in the refrigerator for up to 3 days before you decide to work with it. So that's cool. So I decided I would do that, and this is the next morning, me actually rolling out the cinnamon rolls. So something I always like to do whenever I'm baking is I like to just remove my ring, and that way it doesn't get all disgusting and filled with dough. And now I'm just rolling this half the dough into a 10 by 30 inch rectangle. Okay, and now for the fun part where you just get to pour the butter on, and all it said was lots of butter. That's all the recipe said. So I just guessed here. I don't even remember how much butter I melted down here. I just melted maybe a stick or half a stick. I'm not really sure. That looks like it could be a whole stick. Something I thought of though is, does it have to be melted butter, or could we just do like very softened butter and then just spread that out? So that's gonna be something I may try next time. It's just using like very softened butter and then seeing how that does. So then it's not as messy. But I think this part is probably like the most fun part of making these, because you could just get so creative with this. I had thoughts that you could also add not only just cinnamon and sugar, but you could do so many different variations. I'm sure like you could probably do chocolate chips, you could do pecans, you could do brown sugar. I don't know. I think it's just endless, the possibilities. You could do raisins. I don't know. You just get crazy with it, I think, to your liking. Obviously, I wouldn't get too crazy and like add spinach or something like that. That would be nuts. But I think that you could just have fun with this part. Correction, I was looking back at Ree's recipe and it says to do 3/4 to 1 cup of melted butter. I think for 1/2. That's crazy, but whatever. Oh, Charlotte has something to say about that too. Sorry. So right now I'm just sprinkling down 1 cup of sugar, and then I'll also be doing as much cinnamon to my heart's content, because that's what it says. It doesn't say specifically how much cinnamon to do. And now I'm just putting down what I believe is a generous amount of cinnamon. I really don't know. I probably could have done like way more, or I could have done way less. I think this is just up to your own liking. So this is what I did. I did not measure anything. I just was sprinkling it on there. Okay, and I know Ree said in her recipe to start at the furthest end and roll towards you. I don't know if there's a certain reason for that, but I guess I was just being a little bit of a rebel here and decided to not do it that way and to roll it away from me like this. And I actually really liked doing it that way. And if anything were to ooze out, which nothing actually did ooze out, so maybe I didn't make them as ooey gooey as I should have, but if anything were to ooze out, it wouldn't like puke out onto me. Like it would just go onto the counter. So I don't know if it really matters, but this is how I like doing it, I guess. Can't really tell here because I have this sped up to like 300%, but I'm actually working very slowly right now, just so I don't crush the cinnamon rolls too bad. Here, I'll slow it down for you guys so you can kind of see exactly just how slow I'm moving. See, super slow. It looks like I actually put this in slow mode. That is so funny. But yes, moving very slow with this because I did not want to crush these cinnamon rolls. So here I'm just making the frosting, and the recipe calls for 1 bag of powdered sugar. It didn't specify like what size of bag, so I had to actually look it up, and because I buy my powdered sugar in bulk, so I did about like 3.5 cups of powdered sugar, I believe, and then 2 teaspoons of maple flavoring, but I just did maple syrup because that's what we have, and then 1/2 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of melted butter, and 1/4 cup of brewed coffee, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. I'll get going and then I can go sit with you. Okay. Just a little bit more there. So in no particular way am I putting this frosting on. I'm just getting the frosting on the cinnamon rolls. So I was one-handed, so I could not do anything too pretty with it. Besides, it just all kind of melts all over the place because it's cinnamon rolls. There we go. Yummy, yummy. So now I will show you guys how I make my coffee. I always start with an insulated mug because I'm a mom. My coffee will go cold. I do maple syrup and stevia drops and then whole milk, and then that's just it. And then I just add in the coffee and stir it up. It's actually been a few days now, only because when I was in the middle of doing the cinnamon rolls, I wanted to kind of test out some things with the cinnamon rolls. So at first I thought, you know what, let's recreate the like tube cinnamon rolls, like the Pillsbury or whatever you buy, but you know, pretty much the kinds that come in a can. So like, let's recreate the canned cinnamon rolls, right? So that's what I tested out here. I tested out with just saran wrap, which, I don't know. We'll see how that falls out. Then I wrapped it with parchment paper and then saran wrapped it. And this one I just wrapped a little bit better with parchment paper and then saran wrapped it. And I just was not really liking how it was turning out because if you can kind of tell, it's getting a little like smushy. So I didn't like that. And then I got thinking, I was like, why don't I just lay them out on a cookie sheet like you would like when you're gonna flash freeze something, and then freeze them, you know, cover them obviously so they don't dry out, but freeze them and then put them in like a Ziploc bag, you know, in a gallon size bag. So it'd be no different than if you were freezing cookie dough. So I thought, why don't I give that a try? So I tried that out. Okay, I feel like I must have been underneath a rock for some time because I did not realize that Rhodes Rolls already did this. So I did not even know that these things already existed, and I thought I came across some new discovery. So please forgive me if I sound so stupid. I really did not know these things existed until just literally the other day I saw an ad for them, and I was like, what? I just did this. Oh my gosh. Did not even know these things existed. Carry on. And I really liked that way a lot better. I did thaw them out yesterday. What I did is I wanted to have them for dessert last night, and I kind of took them out a little bit later. Like I took them out like halfway through the day, and I'm like, there's no way these are gonna thaw out and rise in time for us to have them for dessert. So I thought, why don't I speed things up? Turn the oven on, keep warm, cover them, and then I let them rise in like a pie dish. They rose, and they kind of stuck to my towel. And so then I thought, great, now they rose too fast. So I'm gonna have to stick them back in the fridge so then they can stop rising so quickly. So it was kind of a mess. I wouldn't suggest it. In the future, definitely what I'll probably do is I will just put them in the pie dish the night before, like, cause usually I have cinnamon rolls for breakfast. I'll put them in the pie dish the night before, and then I'll just like leave them out on the countertop, like covered or something, and then let them just rise, thaw out and rise overnight. Lastly, this is what I have now. We'll go ahead and undo this together. So I just layered them in here with parchment paper in between, and then afterwards I sealed it up with saran wrap to stick it in the freezer because I didn't want to like dry out. I didn't know what would happen. So there's that. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick these in this bag, since this bag is just use for cinnamon rolls. I try to reuse bags. Like if all this had was cinnamon rolls in it and I make another batch of cinnamon rolls, I'll just keep sticking cinnamon rolls in it. So that's why I like to label them and just keep reusing them. Because I haven't invested in like stasher bags yet. This works. Okay. It's just eventually they will have to get thrown away, which is sad. Oh shoot, that's what I was gonna do. I gotta count these. So that's the other part of this. I made frosting, right? How do I divvy out the frosting? So what I did is I put frosting in the muffin tins here to kind of portion them out somewhat. But then I thought what I really need to do is I need to count how many like batches of cinnamon rolls I have, so then I can baggy up that many frosting packets. So I think I'm gonna do about 9 in a batch that fit nice and comfortably on the little pie plate that I used. Plus if I use a square pan, I can do 3 by 3. So I think 9 is just gonna be what I'm gonna stick with. You about to go to sleep? 8, 9 with an extra one. Cool. So that's 5 batches. So I know I need at least 5 pouches of frosting. Plus 5, 6, 7, 8. So, because I got these 3 logs here. So let's see how many frosting cups I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I got perfectly 8 with 2 left over. So I got 10. So I'm gonna get like little sandwich bags out, and my plan is I'll put the frosting like each cup here in a bag, and then I can stick that baggie like, you know, individually. I'll stick those baggies in here. It'll kind of be like when you get toaster strudels, you know, you have like little pouches of the frosting, one for each toaster strudel or whatever you do. I'll do that, and then when I go to frost them, all I'd have to do is just thaw out the bag. I can stick it in like warm water because it does not take much at all to thaw that out. And I can even snip a corner of it and then, you know, put it on like it's a piping bag. So that will work. So I'm really bummed because I had like snack size bags, and that's what I would have liked to have used. But I'm all out of those right now. And I'm debating, do I just stick this back in the freezer and wait till I go grocery shopping on Monday? Or do I just continue on with this? Because like it's just a little bit bigger. I think I'm just going to continue on because otherwise it's just going to keep cluttering up our freezer, and my husband, it's going to drive my husband nuts because he's going to be like, you need to do something with this. So I'm just going to go ahead and take care of it now. I might as well. So I'll just use this little spatula. Hopefully this, you know what? I might need to use a spoon. I'm going to use a spoon because last night when I tried to get that out with the spatula, it didn't work out so great. The other thought I had, oh, this is already melting. Good thing I'm using a spoon. The other thought I had too was you could, since these are all like individual too, you could probably stick like a couple of these in like a ramekin dish or something. Like if you just like want your own personal cinnamon rolls, I don't see why you couldn't. You know, let them rise a little bit, bring them out, thaw them out, let them rise. And you can do like little individualized cinnamon rolls. You don't gotta cook up a whole batch. So that's something I think I wanna try too. I just don't know how I'm gonna do that with bagging the frosting. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get this divvied up into little bags. And then I will meet you guys back here when I'm all done with that. I just wanna save camera time because my cart is gonna fill up soon. I just finished dividing all the frosting into the little baggies, and so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to stick these bags, just gonna gather them up like this and like this. I'm gonna go ahead and just stick these right in here just to keep it all together. Hopefully they will fit. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and do it up. I'm gonna go ahead and label this. I did stick the other like logs of cinnamon rolls in the freezer already. I found the other bag that was in my drawer that I like to reuse. So stuck that in there because they already started thawing out. So that's crazy. So they were only out for about 10, 15 minutes maybe, tops. And they started thawing out. So I guess it doesn't take too long for them to thaw out. Cinnamon rolls. I'm pretty sure it's 350. I always like to say just thaw. And, oh, you know what? This marker's a dud. So I might have to get like a card. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. This'll work. This'll work. I got a piece of notebook paper here. And I'm just going to, this is what I'm gonna do. Cinnamon rolls. I'm gonna say arrange 9 in baking dish and thaw. Let rise 20, I think it was about 20 minutes, and then bake at 350 for, I believe it was 30 minutes. And I have the recipe in my book, so I can always go back and reference it if I need to, but the way I bake anyways is I do set timers, especially now with not being able to smell things on fire so quickly. But before I would just like go by like smell first of all, and then I'd look. Then now I can't really do that, so I kind of go based off a look. So I gauge it, but that's just how I bake. Bake at 350 for 30 minutes. I have been getting in the habit now of like letting the oven preheat and then setting a timer and stuff, and it just goes a lot smoother, especially because I get pulled away in like all different directions that I even forget I have something in the oven because I can't smell anything. So it's getting better. I'm starting to be able to smell some things and like stuff, certain things cooking and baking and burning. I'm starting to smell a little better, but whatever. So that's what I'm gonna do. I hate using another bag, but I'll be able to like reuse this over and over again as like the label or like the directions. So I'm going to take this paper I wrote the directions on, and I'm gonna stick it in here. I feel like this is a little different, a little weird, but I'm in a pinch here, so it will work. It will work. Okay. So there's that, and then I'll just kind of stick this in the bag so then it's kind of on the front here. Maybe I'll put it like on the back. There. Boop. Just like that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stick this in the freezer before they start thawing out like crazy. Oh, you're gonna wake up now. Okay. Yes, I have you cinched up a little bit tighter because my shoulders were hurting. So I guess that's how I would do cinnamon rolls in like a big batch and then freeze them. So you guys can try your own method, whatever. If you like my way, go for it. If you have a better way or something that just, you know, maybe you tried this and you found something else worked better, like maybe putting the frosting in something else, I don't know, or even freezing the cinnamon rolls a different way, let me know like in the comments like what you come up with. I'm always like open to finding a better way to do things. Whatever you guys find, if you find a different way that works better, I'm open to it. I like the idea of doing a big batch all at once. Like if I'm already going to roll out the cinnamon rolls, I might as well roll them all out at once, get it all done at once, and freeze them and have cinnamon rolls for like the next few weeks. Do things in big batches, and then you have it for a little while instead of trying to find and carve out the time every time you want to make cinnamon rolls. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you give this a try. It's really good. It's by the Pioneer Woman. That's where I got the recipe. So go ahead and check out her recipes because she has a ton that are just great. That's where I like to go a lot of times for comfort food recipes, is to her blog, or her website, I guess. So there's a ton there. And I like that you can also probably modify the recipe as much as you want. You know, if you want to throw chocolate chips in there, you probably could. I don't see why you couldn't. So very cool. I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you like seeing videos like this, please hit a thumbs up so I know to make more like this and I'm doing a good job. And then hit the subscribe button so then you can see when I have another video out. I'll see you guys later. Bye. All right. So